Good afternoon. It's February 20th, 2026, and today you can see we finished the day creating a strong bear bar that closed both above this level of what was resistance and the 21 bar EMA. So, are we going higher? Who's to say? The real test is this 7,000 level. If we can blow through that, then hopefully there will be more upside. Another thing to note is the weekly chart. We close now. This is just nothing surprising here. We did bounce off the EMA, so that could be a sign that we're going higher. But you know, we're this red range is what you want to be looking at, and it's what prices need to break above if we want to see signs of strength. So let's zoom out. This is where the channel started. Was looks like in August. That's what I have drawn anyway. So here's a look at today's price action on the 2700 tick chart. All right. So we had this move down, and I guess this is just continuation of trending trading range type stuff, and really just trading range stuff. But anyway, in the overnight, we had this move from the top of uh, yesterday's range to the bottom, and then it bounced and created a new high. And uh, it took us a while. We tried to push higher 3 times, and then eventually we did, but not much higher. So we did close the day near the highs. Doesn't mean anything. Only time will tell. So let's take a look. So keep in mind, like I said, we bounced at the lows. So I think that this is probably a channel you want to draw off the lows. But anyway, we bounce and we reverse. We're now above the EMA. Try to push below, it fails. And so if you like that, you know, you're in the middle of this range if that's what you're looking at this point. But if you like, maybe this looks like a second entry to you. What I will say is this is a very strong reversal here. And I think it's reasonable to take that and look for a target of up here. So I'm sorry, up here, I should say more specifically, the top of yesterday's range. And that turns out to be a tremendous trade. This looks like it could have been a news item, so if that's the case, you want to stay out of that. But it moves very quickly to about 69.25 before finding some resistance. Comes back down to about 68.75, bounces, come up here, find resistance, form a double bottom. Um, this is where prices took off, so I think this is a reasonable bet. And look how what's your risk here? You got a let's call it a 4 point risk, and if you go to the midline, that's huge. If your target is the midline of this range, 76, we'll just call it that. That's 19 points. That's more than 4 times your risk. Uh, so that's a really good entry. But I mean, these don't work all the time. But that's why the reward is so. You have to go for a reward so much greater than your risk. So anyway, you can see we kind of form a double top here. Uh, then we trade below the EMA and we get like a failed second entry long. I'm not crazy about this one. There's a lot of overlap here. We haven't get the EMA just yet. That really doesn't matter though. I shouldn't be saying that because you're flip-flopping. Really, the problem with this is you're in the middle of the range, so you want to sit tight. Anyway, it goes higher. Let's check out this bull channel here. Uh, and you can see it start to go sideways, lots of overlap. This is when a failure. You want to take your chances with a failure. I'm actually not crazy about this. We don't have a move to a new high, but you can see a little bear channel working. Um, and there's probably room for a scalp. That's where it bounced, you can see, before it goes much lower. And then you get like a breakout pullback, and then it continues lower. Um, Again, not the greatest entry. If you have this channel drawn, you're probably only looking for a scalp. And then we get this bear channel, and you can see that we get like an overshoot down here before it rockets out, tests this high again, and then goes lower. So I mean, I think that getting short somewhere up here is a good idea, and then getting short somewhere up here is a good idea because that's resistance. Here you're forming a double top. Here you're testing that double top. So I do like both of those areas for entering on limit orders. And another reason is we've had range days. Doji, doji, doji. I would even call this a doji. It's just got a larger body. Doji. So the chances are today was going to be a doji. It didn't end up that way, but we had range-like price action. And so it falls all the way down to support, and it bounces like clockwork. So can you take this? Really, the failure happens right here, but maybe you take it here above this bar. You could argue for it. I think you're just entering on limit orders, so maybe like buy the close of this strong bear bar. I think that's a much better idea. So I'll mark that, something like that. Get some sideways stuff here. Hard to say where support is, but I think entering with a limit order down here again, just because you're in the lower third of the range, is a good idea. It bounces, goes near the high of the channel, comes back down. Pretty much we got confirmation of this trend line now. So you could technically enter on limit orders. I just don't like it. You're in the middle of the range. Goes higher, and then we just get a sideways pullback. And I don't blame anybody for getting short right here on limit orders, or over here on limit orders, and it does end up bouncing and going higher both times. But like this is it was a range day up until this point, so I definitely don't think those are bad bets. So that's how I saw it today. That's how I saw it this week. I hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back Monday.